You're looking to invest in northern New Jersey, but you keep hearing this story about you cannot cash flow. There's no way of making money. It's just not possible in the Garden State. Well, I'm here to say that that's absolutely wrong. And I've got clients, myself, and many others that are making a lot of money on their investment properties, more so than what people are saying, because we're looking at things a lot differently than most. So in today's video, we're gonna be going over some strategies of how you can look at an investment property in northern New Jersey and make sure it has the potential to cash flow for you. You're gonna wanna stick around to the end on this one, because every single topic that I'm gonna be talking about today is very unique, a little bit different, but I wanna let you know I'm implementing them, my clients are implementing them. We're not guessing here, we're not like hypothesizing. These are facts, these are real life situations that are happening. So you're gonna wanna hear them all. And at the end of the day, I want to make sure that you're on your pathway to financial freedom. So stick around to the end, because we put a lot of time and effort into this one. And this is a really, really good video. It's just going to make you more money. It's like, why would you not want that? My name's Shawn McEnteer. I'm the house hacking realtor of Northern New Jersey and the team leader of the Living in North Jersey real estate team. I am outside of a house hack right now, just waiting for my clients to arrive. I'm like, you know, why not hop on, make a video about making some more money for awesome investors like you. So I got a little time to kill, and I'm like, hey, let's hop on YouTube and share the knowledge, because I don't do things off of ChatGPT. I do things off of actual real life examples, things that we're doing, not guesswork, not a computer, nothing like that. This is the real deal. This is me. Make sure you click subscribe so you can stay up to date on everything that's happening in northern New Jersey, especially if you want to make a little bit more money on your next rental property. So here we are. It's a topic. I see it all the time, especially on real estate forums, and people come to me like, hey, New Jersey does not cash flow. New Jersey doesn't do this. New Jersey doesn't do that. A lot of times it's actually people from out of state that are saying that. They're like, you know, why would you invest in New Jersey? It's just not the right way. Well, I'm here to let you know that my wife and I have been investing here for over 10 years, and we're yet to miss a single payment of rent. We keep raising our rents. We have awesome tenants. We have an amazing investing experience, and we help others get on that fast track to financial freedom. So, you know, you hear a lot of people from the outside saying certain things, maybe don't do this, don't do that, it's so bad. And I think at the end of the day, it's like, you gotta ask the question, have you invested there? Like, what's your experience? For my wife and I, we know where to invest. We know the markets to avoid. We know the markets to stay in, and we get to creative ways of raising rents. And that's what I really want to dive deep on today, so you can be up to date on some different strategies and different ideas. First things first, if you're looking to invest in northern New Jersey, you got to be really careful with the single family properties. They're very, very few and far between that make sense. They're not an absolute no, but there's really tough to find them and find them to be a buy and hold long-term investment. I love you. If you're doing fix and flips and all that kind of stuff, whatever, it's a whole different topic, whole different strategy. I'm not the guy for that. I don't do fix and flips. I'm a house hacker, buy and hold investor, multifamilies, but single family is very tough. Not impossible. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but it is definitely not easy when you're looking at a single family property. A lot of times, and I just had this yesterday with a client that I was speaking to, and you know, she was talking with a realtor, and before she met me, and she was like, hey, you know, my realtor is saying, you know, maybe we should look at single family properties as investments. And I keep hearing this big push because the inventory is so low with multifamilies that they're like, oh, let's just go buy a single family. And it's like, you're not going to cash flow ever in most cases. Not all, most cases. It's really tough unless you're doing a substantial value add project. But then even so, it's like the numbers are always tight. It never looks that attractive when you look apples to apples compared to like multifamily. So that's the number one tip. I'd say, you know, avoid the single family. It's gonna be really, really tough to find a buy and hold property that cash flows there, really ever. Second thing here, you need to be creative with how you're looking at properties. This is one that's huge. I run into very frequently. People come to me like, hey, I'm analyzing deals. The numbers don't make sense. Okay, now how are you analyzing? That's the first question. A lot of times I'm using Zillow. I'll tell you this much. The very first multifamily, not the very first, the second multifamily my wife and I closed on, the Zillow estimate did not look attractive. His estimate was not good. And this is what I always say. Zestimates do not know if the property is next to a garbage dump or a train station. So when you're looking at numbers and you're analyzing deals, you need to differentiate between two. So having experience and knowledge and closing on a lot of these properties, being around multifamilies, being around rentals, I knew that the property that my wife and I wanted to close on could be much, much higher in rent, because I knew the proximity to where it was going. But what Zillow was doing is it was taking an estimate of the entire town. It was saying 4 bedroom, 2 baths should rent at this price. So it was taking the ones that were next to the garbage dump per se, and the ones next to the train station. There aren't many of them. So when you have, let's say, 10 properties next to a garbage dump and maybe 1 or 2 properties next to a train station, and you average them together, the rents do not look very attractive. That's what Zillow does. That's an algorithm that it does. So when analyzing deals, it's always a question of where are you getting it from. Rent-a-meter, it's a little more accurate, but it's still not there, because there's not someone boots on the ground actually going looking in these properties and saying, you know, you can get to this. All you need is one comp that makes sense. You know, you could have literally dozens of comps that are saying very low rent, and then you have that one that gets there, and that becomes very significant because you know someone's doing it. So that means you can get another property there potentially. Not all the time, but potentially. So on this particular deal, when we were looking at it, we knew that I could not use the Zestimate. I used the Shawn estimate, and I got substantially higher, about $500 more per month than what Zillow was estimating on this particular property. So when you're analyzing deals, you always want to make sure you're analyzing them properly. That being said, I do a lot of things with comps. I do a lot of things with off-market comps, things that Zillow doesn't see, things that the MLS doesn't see, because I've got clients that are doing all this. I'm always able to reach out and say, hey, how much are you getting in rent in your particular property? So there's a lot of analyzing that goes into this. And I always say, when looking at deals, you want to make sure that you're getting accurate numbers, accurate information. That's for a long-term rental strategy. So long-term rental strategy is very good. It's great for setting on autopilot, setting and forgetting it. I love it. We do a lot of that myself, my wife and I. But now it's like, hey, you know, maybe the rental market isn't looking so great long-term because the price of homes are so high and taxes are high in New Jersey. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna hide and say taxes are low. We do have very high taxes. It's unfortunate, but I always say the rents are much higher. The rents go up a lot faster than the taxes do. But the purchase price, oh my gosh, the purchase price is large as well in our state. So when you run all these together, it's like, how can you do a long-term rental? That brings me to my next point. When you're looking at properties, you need to be creative. There are opportunities out there that might say, you know what, maybe we should look into a short-term or mid-term rental strategy because it's going to get significantly more in rent. And that's how we are killing it with things like the 1% rule. If you don't know what the 1% rule is, that simply means your 1% of your purchase price should equate to your monthly rents. Let's say it's $1 million property. That means you're getting $10,000 in rent every month. That's the 1% rule. If you're familiar with the 1% rule, why don't you drop a comment below and say, yeah, I know what you're talking about, Shawn. Just because I'm always curious to know what your level is. If you don't, no big deal. I'm always happy to explain these things. So to get to things like the 1% rule, which people say are dead, it's not. I've got clients that are hitting it, especially in this past year, from different rental strategies, one of which is the college rental. That is where you actually can purchase a single family house and get really high rents. I have a client who bought a $900,000 property who's getting over $900,000 or is getting over $9,000 a month in rent because he's looking at college rentals and he's open-minded to it. He's collecting checks every single month. He has great tenants. It's doing really well. I've got multiple clients doing that. So it's looking at different strategies like that that can get you over the hump to get higher rents in our state and be at a 1% marker. Midterm rental is another way of doing it. Just got an awesome phone call literally yesterday, which kind of inspired me to make this video, from a client who is going to get his 2-bedroom, 1-bath rented for $3,500 for 6 months because he has a midterm rental strategy and he has people that are looking to renovate their house. They need a place to stay, and they're going to be using his property. And the property, look, it's a really nice property. It's not like this amazing, immaculate, you know, it's not the Taj Mahal. It's not this, it's not the White House. It is just, you know, it's a nice property, but $3,500 is ridiculously high for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, but people need that because they're doing the midterm rental. So you can get more rents creatively. And that's what you must be looking at in Northern New Jersey. Don't just fall victim to the ABC, to this long-term rental, and that's it. That's the only way to go, especially if you're a house hacker. If you're house hacking, you have so much opportunity because you're living in the unit to do these creative strategies. Midterm rental, if you have someone that's turning, like tenant turnover, how easy is that? If you just walk down your steps and turn the unit over every 4 months, or you get a team in place, which we have teams in place for all this stuff, especially for tenant turnover. If you need someone for tenant turnover, why don't you reach out, always book a call. Happy to share some of our people that we have in place. You know, we've got the attorneys, we got the tenant turnover, we got the handyman, we've got the landscaper, we got everyone in place that's ready to go if you need that. So having the systems is super crucial. So don't necessarily be so scared of things like, you know, because I see that too, like, oh, I don't know if I want to do a midterm rental. I'm like, you know, you might get $1,000 more a month in rent. That's pretty cool. That's awesome. I kid you not. We see a minimum of a 20% increase on what the traditional rental prices are. If it's renting for, let's say, $2,000 a month a property, we're going to see $2,400 at a minimum. And then you're going to see maybe 30, 40, 50%, maybe $3,000 a month. So you see a lot of opportunity in different creative ways. Something else you're gonna want to look at, and it's really, really important. It's here. Check this out, especially if you're looking to house hack or buy and hold in Northern New Jersey. This is a really, really good video. I suggest you take a look on this one.